Hello, good morning, or good morning. I'm that tired. Um, so I'm sorry I missed you the last couple of days. I've been in a conference and have been really trying to be quiet and kind of figure out some things about what's going on in my life. But today, I decided that I would talk about lost potential. There are several situations in my personal life where I had goals or dreams or things that I wanted to do that I set aside to appease the next person's dream or their goals. Repeatedly in my life, I would say, I want to do this, and someone else would say, oh, it's dumb, or oh, they don't want to do it, whatever. Or you can't do that. I heard that one a lot. You can't do that. You're this. There's always some excuse, right? So I know that I set several things aside that I shouldn't have. I guess I was thinking about it because a couple years ago, there was a pastor who, who's my pastor now. His name is Pastor John Gray. And he came to the church that I was attending, and he was speaking to singles about, that's better a little bit. My color is so bad today. Anyways, he was speaking to the singles in the room about dating. And he was saying, if you are, I'm doing this without notes, so bear with me, but he was saying, if you're going to a construction site where it says, usually it'll say something like hard hat only areas, right? So if you go into a construction zone or any area under construction, they tell you have to wear a hard hat to protect yourself. And a lot of times they're not going to just let you wear any old kind of shoes on the site because, it could be dangerous if you're wearing high heels in the middle of a mud pit. So if you're going into a construction zone, you're going to be properly outfitted and clothed and protected, right? From any falling objects for your head. Wear a hat, hard hat. You're not going to go into that situation not prepared, right? In the same way, the same manner, we shouldn't be going into dating unprotected. I know for me, I was never really taught how to date, and it was like, oh, if he's fine and he's cute or he asks me out, then I'll go out with him, maybe. I didn't really have much that helped me determine whether or not somebody was dateable other than the lust factor. If I thought they were cute, let's go, give it a go. If I thought they were attractive, great, meet you at 8. Nothing else, right? So I say all that because if we're going into the dating world, we should have some things that we are looking for. At this stage of my life, I've got kids. I have one child specifically that I need to protect from a lot. And I don't just allow anybody and everybody in my world because I have to protect my kid. But also, in the same respect, I have to protect myself. I have to guard my own heart and not allow myself to be just out there with any old kind of buddy, right? So, I shared a couple days ago that I spent a few years not dating. To kind of elaborate on that just a tad, I went through some crazy seasons where I I dated a few people. I'd had a few relationships that just back to back to back that failed. And they weren't short relationships by any means. They were all long-standing relationships, but one after another, they weren't working out. And I stayed in them way too long. Like, I was in those situations way longer than I should have even given an opportunity. But I'm a person who believes in second, third, fourth, and fifth chances. I try not to like judge people based off of circumstances, because I don't want to be judged based off of circumstances. I try to give people the same grace that I want extended to me. So, maybe they had an off day, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there were other circumstances that were going on, and I feel like I need to take that into account before I just pop off and just be like, I'm done with you. So after the situation, I was with my girl's dad forever, and that fell apart. And then I dated a guy on the East Coast for like, I don't know how many years. I mean, we talked for like 8 or 9 years or something. We weren't dating the whole time, but, we were in each other's worlds for quite a long time. And that situation is one of them. I should have walked away much, much, much sooner. When he first said, I don't want to get married, I should have just been like, cool, and went on about my way. But, as a woman, I stayed. And I think I met him, I was like, God, I must have been like 28 when I met him. No, I had Danny when I was 30, so I must have been 31 when I met him. Long story short, he told me who he was, he told me what he wanted, and I didn't hear him, and I continued on in a relationship because I loved him, because I cared about him, and I'm not saying he didn't love me back, but he definitely had another agenda, right? I left that relationship and dated another guy, and that one also fell apart. And then I dated another guy, and that guy, that situation was kind of really hard for me, because it was somebody that I really, really, really cared about, and I'd cared about for a long, long, long time. And he had never really broken me down before. It had kind of been the other way around. So I just wasn't really expecting him to be capable of doing anything that would break me down in any way, right? So I totally went in that blindsided and got my heart broken. And after that situation, I really had to kind of pull out of all of it and just be like, okay, wait. The common denominator here is me. I keep walking into construction zones without hats and helmets and with the wrong shoes, and I keep getting beat up. And this ain't working for me. So I decided to spend a whole year with God, and I gave him all the time that I would have given a man. I gave to God. If I wanted to go on a date, I spent time reading his word. If I wanted to spend quality time with, I, listened to worship music or did something, whatever I could, hung out in fellowship, went to church meetings, different conferences. Like, I set goals, things that I wanted to accomplish. And that's actually the year that I started doing conferences that I felt were, would speak to my potential, my future, things that I wanted. I wrote out my list again for the things that I wanted out of my life. Yeah, I had a bachelor's degree, but what do you want to do, Teresa? And I would be like, get a job, pay my bills. I didn't have goals. I mean, I didn't really have anything like set in stone. It's kind of funny, because I know that I would never walk into a construction site and not be protected. But yet I would walk into a relationship and never protect myself. Never walk, it's like, oh, you don't want me to listen to R&B anymore? Cool, I don't like R&B anymore. What kind of music do I listen to? And it's like, it wasn't that gullible, but I mean, I really changed who I was and adopted who I was to their likes and their needs of who I thought, or whatever they thought that I needed to be. And lost sight of who I was in the process. So I say all that because I know there's a lot of girls out there, a lot of girls, that I'm friends with. And I'm getting a text message, but I actually have a lot of guy friends too, who are constantly posting or seeking or talking about girls. And my question to all of you is, what sacrifices have you made? You. What have you done to better you, to change you, to be 100% whole in who you are? What do you bring to the table? Because part of also being under construction isn't just about being outfitted in the proper outfit. It's about being in the right mind space, right? I personally was not in a position to be in a relationship because I was insecure in who I was as a human being. So I wasn't bringing 100% truth to the table. I wasn't 100% bringing myself to the table and be like, this is who I am. Take me or leave me. Accept me or don't accept me. It doesn't matter because I accept myself. I wasn't doing that. I came to the table like, well, who do you want me to be? What do you want me to do? And I didn't say that or lead with that, but that's really what it was. So my question to anybody who's saying, well, I want to go into a relationship. Well, what do you know about that person? Do you know their character? Do you know do they have goals, dreams, aspirations? Are they where they want to live for the rest of their life? Do they ever want to move? Do they want to travel? Do they want kids? Do they not want kids? Are they done having kids? Do they want to be married? Are they interested in a relationship, or are they just having fun? And I think that those are things that we all have to have real conversations with each other about, especially as singles in today's world, because it's like, it's a hot mess out here. I have girlfriends who are just dating, and they do all these, like, I don't know, dating sites, one after the other, and they're like, oh, I'm going to find the right guy, and I met a new guy, oh yeah, we met, we're going to go do whatever. I'm like, well, how do you know this guy? Where did you meet him? How do you know about him? Do you know how he treats his mom? Do you know how he treats his sister? And maybe I'm old-fashioned and old school or whatever the case may be, but you know what? I'm also not heartbroken every 6 weeks, every time this new situation decides to change. So take your pick. I mean, really, I feel like the right guy out there for me is going to know me from around the things that I'm doing. He's going to see me around doing things that I normally do in my own environment, and his life is going to come alongside mine. I'm not going to have to go force fit something and try to fit a circle into a square or whatever the case may be. It's just going to be. And so I would encourage you to take a look inward and kind of figure out, what's going on with you. Because I know for me, that's been one of my biggest hardships. It's the one thing that I think I've struggled with the most over the years, is that I allow people in who don't deserve me over and over and over again. And, I'm not some like all great person that's done all these wonderful things, but I definitely have goals. I definitely have dreams. And I'm definitely at this point in my life not willing to sacrifice that for anybody. It's kind of hard because that sounds so bad, but there are a couple of situations currently where I'm got a big question mark, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, I have one telling me it doesn't matter what the circumstances is, he loves me, wants me, that situation, and I don't necessarily believe that. And then I have another situation who I know loves me, who doesn't doubt that. I've never questioned that situation, but wants to do their own thing, and I have to respect that they want to do their own thing. And it's just not easy. Dating in today's world is just not an easy thing. And then people can say, oh, well, you're talking to two guys, no wonder. Well, I'm not really talking to two guys. One doesn't want a situation. So I can't really be talking to. It is what it is, right? But again, like I said, the right guy for me is going to just come alongside, and it's going to be easy. And I'm not saying it's going to be simple or like without problems in any way, shape, or form, but it's definitely going to just be easy and light and call it a day. I just wanted to share a little bit on that because I know that every time I log on, I see my friends going through these things back and forth with these other people, and I'm like, oh, I can't with you. Like, I love you, friend, but my God, like, how many dating sites can you get on? How many? And when do you get off crazy train and say, hey, you know what? Go join a hobby class, like a sip and spin, or what do they call them? Sign and sip, paint and sip, something. Yeah, do that. Do something. Just find something you love. Get some girlfriends or boyfriends, guys, whatever. Do whatever. Go hang out and have fun with your friends, and eventually the right person's going to come along. I mean, you're not going to be able to give them anything until you're 100% whole anyways. And I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to me also. There's still a lesson I'm learning. Being single sucks sometimes, I know. But it's what it is, right? I don't expect everybody to do what I did. I know I got kind of extreme. But I did that because I needed to get quiet. I needed to figure out who I was. So, and I don't, what's crazy is that year turned into 4.5 years. I started with 1 year. I wouldn't say 4.5, probably like 3 years of just me and God solid. And then I started talking to other guys, and then, anyways. I don't know. Hang in there. Tomorrow I have some kind of more personal things to share, but yeah, this is just something I've just been noticing the last couple of days, and the more I see it, the more I'm like, come on, friends, come on. We've got to be better. We've got to do better, especially the ones that are my age, in your 40s. I love you guys. You have a great evening. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. I have like a crazy busy day tomorrow, but I'll try to get on a little earlier too. Wish me luck. Tomorrow's a big day. I got a lot to share, but we'll go there later. Talk soon. Bye.